drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskowitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskowitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
I'll say it for you. Henry got his arse kicked. You know Yurka's as strong as an ox.
And why wouldn't he be, with all he eats and drinks? But what can we do with you, Henry, if even a drunken Moravian brawler can beat you? We could get into all sorts of tricky situations along the way.
That's true, Henry. But there's something we can do about that. I think Lord Sameen here could teach you a thing or two.
Yeah, why not? What do you say, youngster? Fancy a bit of training?
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Charlie, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. Hold on a mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
I believe the quill is mightier than the sword.
Is that so? Well, that's nice, son. Next time you meet a fella on the road who wants to rob you, you can write a sonnet about it. Or maybe you try and tickle him to death.
But what I meant was... Well,
What do I care? Just save the wise arsery for someone with the stomach for it. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Take that. Wanker! a lot of blood.
Come here.
This should
I want to
stop
tell
it.
you something. What do you say, son?
You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
God's truth, sir. You didn't disgrace yourself, but I can see the young un has spirit. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you. Heal. Here, Mutt.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scalets, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
What a nag!
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir.
God be with you.
About those Cumans, is it done?
Aye. They shouldn't be a problem anymore.
Are you sure?
Don't worry. I had a word with them.
What? What the fuck do you mean, had a word? Are you yanking my pizzle?
They made a promise.
Just like that?
No, not just like that. But we became quite friendly after I talked to that dog.
What dog? What are you on about?
No, really?
Gotta make a fool of someone else, asshole. Take care.
I'm as hungry as a wolf. Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semin on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semin would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semin is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin, while he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semin would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why is that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
Careful.
Good to see you. Sorry? Careful.
I should go back. Otherwise, Lord Semine and the captain will leave me behind.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum! Let's hurry! To Yitchin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Itchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise Lord Jesus Christ. Choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way. The Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place.
Keep your eyes on the
I'm
road,
not
you
sure,
fool.
sir. If
Christ
they'll let the two of us
wounds,
set
watch out
foot
with that
inside the
horse.
door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my brains they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go. Greetings to you.
Did you see a cart drive through here by any chance?
All the time, friend, from Troskovich to Yitchin and back. Sometimes even a slow cart with a dead body.
I'm looking for a cart loaded with goods from the blacksmith. Probably moving fast.
Now that you mention it, I do recall something of the like. They even dropped a sack of charcoal. When you go out of the cemetery onto the road, you should see it right there on the right-hand side. See you later, my friend.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
Good Jackie, good boy.
I'm Henry. And you must be the local gravedigger, right?
Ignatius, master of the sod, at your service. Looking for a final resting place, are you? Or do you need to bury a dead goat?
Now, I'm more interested in the grave-digging profession as a whole.
Ah, once you try it, you'll never want to do nothing else till the day you die.
You got a big cemetery here. Pretty nice, too.
Ain't it? But being the gravedigger, I'll never have a place of my own here. They'll throw me by the wall like a dog and bury me without ceremony. But when I'm dead, I won't care. If it was up to me, I'd even bury the suicides in hallowed ground. We're all equal before death and the Lord. This game of better and worse places of final rest don't count for nothing.
What's the story with the dead people?
The story? They're dead. What more is there to tell?
But you said there's been a lot of people dying around here recently, right?
Well, it ain't usual for people to get off by the cartload out here in the sticks, if you ask me. What do you reckon?
I don't know. Hadn't really thought about it that way.
That might be the reason, then. Hey?
What?
Look, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying there's a lot of people dying. If things keep up like this, I'll be out of work in no time. There'll be no one left to bury.
Being a gravedigger must be a lonely job, eh? What are your duties?
Funny a young lad like you is so interested in grave digging. Not something you see every day.
Well, I'm only asking. No real reason.
That figures. Youngsters these days wouldn't know hard work if it bit 'em on the arse. It's no wonder I can't find any help.
Are you offering me a job?
No. I'm giving you a warning. You ain't cut out for this trade.
And how do you know that?
You've got that look. I can spot it a mile away.
Could you be more specific?
You just aren't cut out for it, and that's that. A gravedigger needs passion. A sense of duty ain't enough. It's a service, a labour of love, and the meaning of life all in one, lad.
Have you been a gravedigger your whole life? Have you ever thought of changing your trade?
I did think about it once, if I'm honest. I wanted to be a knacker in Yitchin, but some fool with friends in high places got the job, though he can't even tell a shovel from a spade. That really pissed me off, so I said, fuck it. Why might I want to dig graves for people who don't appreciate my craft?
So you've always been here otherwise?
And what of it? Do you think I get bored here? Not recently, I don't. But I think I told you that already.
I'm not from these parts, and I've seen a few conciliation crosses around here. What do they mean?
The same as where you come from, I reckon. They mark spots where the sins of man came to be regretted later.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
Aye, like when a fella buries an axe in someone's head over something stupid and then comes to regret it. Or if the law sees to it that he regrets it. The sinner then has to erect a conciliation cross to mark the site of his evil deed.
Where does he get the cross from?
Where do you think? From me.
You're in charge of that too? Stone cutting?
I know how to cut a cross out of stone. And what of it? With the soft sandstone around here, it's child's play.
So they're all your work?
I wish. I've only sold 2 or 3 recently. Most of these here are right old. You might find a few stories about them in the village chronicle what's kept at the rat house. All I know is a young fellow once jumped off the cliffs near Takoff, and folks say the place is cursed.
Do you know any more stories?
Aye, I do, but I'm not telling you any. I'm not an old fishwife.
But seriously, Ignatius, tell me about yourself.
Gravedigger, knacker, snorter's constant companion, and lover of colourful sunsets, all in one man.
You've nearly got more titles than the Emperor himself.
Well, I have been doing it for almost 40 years now. The bailiff pays me well, in coin and sometimes in goods.
Sounds appealing.
Not all that glitters is gold, lad. A gravedigger's got it hard, and so does a knacker. I pick up dead animals on the side of the road. That's the knacker's job. You could say I have a knack for it. That's why people say I'm unclean. If I had children, they wouldn't be allowed to marry anyone besides an executioner or a gravedigger. It's so ingrained in folk. A fella takes care of things they wouldn't want to handle themselves, and this is how they repay him. Can't even go to the tavern no more.
Unfortunately, I had to bury both my parents recently.
My condolences, lad.
Thank you. I just don't know if it was done right.
Did you witness their deaths?
Unfortunately, they were killed in front of my eyes.
Oh, I understand that's never easy. But if you closed their eyes and buried them in consecrated ground, you've nothing to worry about.
I dug their grave next to our smithy. We didn't have a church in our village.
Well, that can't be avoided sometimes. Don't let it bother you. As long as you picked the spot with good intentions, that's all that matters. I'm certain their souls went straight to heaven. You needn't worry. You did everything right, lad. Farewell.
Praise the Lord.
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses too. Thank the youngest. I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every low-born with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's the change in the economical situation, sir. The burghers have more rights, and they make smart use of them. They put their coin to work for them. They've got shops, baths, inns, mills, while the nobles sit waiting until Jack from Backwater Hamlet brings them 3 groschen in taxes on St. Gallus's Day.
You're right there. Only Jack hasn't even got 3 groschen these days. None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar, right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
Search.
Blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout.
Apollonia. I spent a lot of time
Apollonia.
running around here as a young lad.
Marika was headed
not
somewhere
me.
around here.
This
I
place
could have the
always
dogsmith
gave me
for a
the
scarf.
shivers.
God's truth,
Maybe he'll lead me somewhere.
I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why's that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth, The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the window...
Listen.
I hear it.
There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer.
Ordained, you ignoramus. For fuck's sake, you was never ordained, Monster. I was. Stumbled in it.
What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
You don't say. You really saw that? I'm not kidding. Monza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too. True. He ain't yanking your fiddle. I saw it with my own two eyes. She had one different than the other. All right. But that ain't normal.
I'll kill you. It's a wonder you're...
Watch the hold up, damn it! Hey, Henry, get over here! Watch the hold up, damn it! Stop dawdling! Hey, Henry, get over here! Hey, Henry, get over here! Watch the hold up, damn it! Hey, Henry, get over here! Stop dawdling! Hey, Henry, get over here!
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, then, sir. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time at the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
Gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh? Or how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
Going to get it. Another man. Slice him up. We'll kick your asses. Sick. You're going to fuck with us. Yeah. Don't spare him. What are those fancy moves, for fuck's sake? We'll finish this quickly. Wake up!
I'll be done with you in a flash.
And it's done. They got what they deserved, the fuckers.
I'm a nobleman.
Henry! Hey,
You have to
Henry!
spare me.
Are you listening?
Do be quiet.
Come here!
We'll decide what to do with you later. What about your...
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
They won't pay half a groschen for you, eh? So, tell me why I shouldn't hang you.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
I'm still from a noble family. Rich or poor, you can't just lynch me.
Well, who's going to stop me?
The law?
I can't see any law here. But I can see lots of crows that will enjoy feasting at you.
You rash. No one bad thing said about your family.
Crows can't talk. We'll decide what to do with you later. What about your parents? So, they won't pay half a groschen for you, eh? So, tell me why I shouldn't hang you on the nearest tree, huh? got another word now.
As you wish, sir. Although...
Be quiet.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Fuck! All right, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Promise me.
I won't promise you anything. Now, come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me. You deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Samine. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
What's going to happen with that pair?
You mean Radovan's hands? We'll see. The one that ran for it, it's clear with him. The other fellow was tied up, so who knows what went down. Maybe he was innocent. Gnarly'll have a word with him, and we'll see what he tells us.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Venser's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
So, you wanted to steal the cart for yourselves, but you still got caught?
I didn't want to steal anything. That was Venser.
It was your idea. What the fuck are you talking about blaming Venser?
You really are prize idiots. If you hadn't gone round the rocks, you could easily have got away. But I've got a big heart, so I sent the lads to give you a hand.
I told Francie it wasn't a good idea to nick it.
Bollocks. As soon as you saw the lads, you gave the horses the whip. You were holding the reins, Venser.
You see?
While you were shouting rude insults. So you're both in it up to your necks, as far as I'm concerned.
Where are you taking us?
To Samine, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realise you can't just execute me.
It depends. By right, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. Parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and lop your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my pizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
If Lord Semine's in a good mood, he'll try to find out whose idea it was.
It definitely wasn't mine.
You're such a rat, Francie.
On the other hand, when I hear you lot going on and on, I reckon he might not give a damn.
I'm innocent. I swear on my soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Cha! Every man she could, I dragged to the gallows, swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as the driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
The captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right. You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout.
Ale.
Right, we're in Troskovitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Sameen sometime. You may be wet behind the ears still, but you're a laugh to have around.
Wet behind the ears? You're a bit young for that kind of talk, Captain.
Ah, if only.
Gather round. Take a good look.
Greetings to you.
This scoundrel bragged to the whole tavern that he had the nimblest fingers in the land. And
I'm
in
an
the
honest
very
man.
same tavern, he
Not
was
your
caught
day, eh?
breaking into a cupboard and chests. He tried to steal the possessions of good people. But when he saw a
What did he do?
watchman, the coward
Nothing.
tried to flee.
Really?
But
Were you
he was
expecting a
caught
different
when he
answer?
slipped on some dung and had a very nasty fall. So
What if
here
I
you
freed
have
you?
him. The
I'd
nimblest
Scarpa,
fingers far
obviously.
and wide. But he ended up in the shit.
How's it going?
Let this
I
thief
expect that's not
be
very
a warning
comfortable
to
on
you
your back.
all of what
Fuck my
happens
back.
when you steal
I
other
can hardly
people's
feel it
property.
anymore.
God's law and
But
the
recently,
law of the land
some
apply
joker
to
passed
everyone.
by and put a dead fish in my
Bloody
breeches.
scoundrel.
So you don't end up here too.
Good day to you.
Show me your wares.
Take care then. And thanks for nothing.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semeen's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh, they did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realized they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semeen, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semeen, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down. The whole band.
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the carts and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semeen took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I know what to do with them.
Now, don't worry. I don't think Lord Semeen will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up.
I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truskovitz. What do you think of her?
Well, young Semin is marrying her, isn't he? Why would I have my eye on her?
Don't pretend. A statue of a saint would have his eye on her. Looks ain't everything, though. She's got such a sharp tongue on her. I almost feel sorry for young Semin. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from a mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. That's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truskovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truskovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
Here you go. Take it.
Greetings. Do you need something?
The humans won't be coming back here. Don't worry.
Good. Peace at last. Until you get into trouble again, that is.
I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some for free. I catch you fighting here again, and I'll spank your bare ass like a brat. Down to business. I don't have all day for you, so what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad, stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit
Just a moment.
far-fetched.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
But I have to speak to him.
Didn't you hear what I said? He doesn't... I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you. Because this reeks of hell.
I'd like to ask you...
Go on.
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross? Or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble, lad. But all right, if you insist, you go through Apollonia, along the path, below the rocks, till you reach the point where it crosses the stream. And from there, you take the path uphill to the left, leading into the rocks.
Who's this hermit fella, anyway?
No one knows. He settled in the rocks a few years back. Folk used to go to him for various healing ointments or advice.
And what has he got to do with this apparition?
Well, he was at death's door recently, bedridden, and then suddenly he's got his health back. Just like that. And he's like a different man since then. He sends everyone who goes to see him packing. Mark my words. He sold his soul to the devil to get better. And the devil sometimes comes here on the prowl for unwary souls.
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on well-fed horses.
Monks on horseback? That's definitely odd.
Well, Bashka the butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition. In short, the Inquisition.
First the soldiers, they come and take whatever they want without asking. The preachers have grabbed up even more, as if they didn't have enough already. The churches are full of gold, and the common people don't even have enough to eat.
Couldn't agree more. I doubt that the man upstairs
need to know more about that strange apparition.
God save us! Don't bother me with that. God be with you. Christ, pardon me.
In broad daylight like that.
Look, suit yourself, but I don't give a shite about him.
Not your day, eh?
So you don't end up here too.
God be with you. What would you like?
I heard something happened to Ambrose the Hermit.
Too right. He sends everyone packing right away. He's changed a lot.
I hear Ambrose the Hermit has some old sword.
That's right. But I haven't seen it in his hut for a few years. Most likely he sold it.
I hear the devil was seen here.
God above, give over with that. It was good to see you, my friend.
What do you know about the apparition at the cross?
Better ask Gerda at the apothecary's. She's the one what saw it with her own eyes.
I heard Stanislav had some kind of nighttime vision. A diabolical apparition.
Mary, Mother of God, protect us. A few days ago, he ran into the village on his last legs with fear. He said he saw a diabolical horseman down at the crossroads. It was good to see you, my friend.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to ask you about something.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Go away, please.
Easy now, Gerda. There's nothing to be afraid of. We'll get to the bottom of this mystery together.
Really? You're not going to laugh at me like all the others?
I believe you really did see something. But I want to know what it really was.
So, what do you want me to tell you?
Relax, Gerda. Have a think, and then tell me what happened with the apparition.
It was the day before yesterday. I was picking marshmallow roots above the rocks. It grows by the cross there, near the big dry tree not far from the road to Tachov. I didn't get home till after dark when I suddenly realized I didn't have my knife.
So you went back to the cross?
God have mercy. He hopped up right out of the ground in front of me. He was all in black and he was grinding his teeth. I started to scream. There was something glinting in the dark and this clanking sound, and I just turned and scarpered.
That's all?
At one point I turned around and I saw a dark shadow darting across the field. Proper flying along it was, like the devil, and heading straight to Apollonia.
Don't worry, Gerda. Nobody's going to make fun of you anymore. I'll find out what it was all about and what you really saw there.
What do you think happened?
I don't know yet, but you needn't fear. Everything will get cleared up soon.
Thank you. By all the saints, thank you. But please, come and tell me how it turned out. I'll make it worth your while.
What's this place where you saw the apparition?
It's a conciliatory cross, erected in the memory of some innocent's death. They say some years ago, a young fella killed himself on account of an unhappy love affair. He jumped from a cliff.
And the day after you saw the apparition, the cross was at an angle.
Aye, all askew. Everyone here saw it. I didn't go back. I can't.
Gerda really did see something. That cross hides a secret.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Go! Whoa! Whoa! I don't have a spade. The conciliatory cross. A memorial to the unfortunate death of that young man. But I'm more interested in what secrets it conceals now. Mats! I'll need a spade for this.
Damn it!
What on earth are you doing here?
Nothing.
What's with that hole there?
What about it?
You've got a body in there, haven't you? Admit it.
I ain't got nothing in there.
Then what are you up to here?
Look, I mean no disrespect, but I ain't having the best of days. So, thanks for stopping by, but no need to tarry for my sake.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I think not. But thanks anyway.
Come now. You surely won't turn down a helping hand. What is it you're up to?
You're a stubborn one, aren't you? But all right then. Listen up. I'm Bolek.
And I'm Henry.
See, what I'm doing here is... How do I... Sakura. How to explain this? Well, it's just... The hand of God dragged me here to look for the Holy Grail.
looking for the Holy Grail? Here, of all places?
Aye. It should be around here somewhere. Somewhere in the area.
Are you a complete lunatic? How the hell did you come up with such a crock of shit? Why here, of all places?
Because I met this old monk the other day. He wasn't entirely right in the head. He kept muttering to himself and looked the worse for wear. Not a pleasant sight, but I felt sorry for him. So I shared some wine and a piece of bacon with him, and he gave me a parchment with writing on it.
You can read?
Of course I can't read. I don't have time for that kind of tomfoolery. But I know a scribe over in Cuttenberg, and he read it to me. And what it said near knocked me on my arse.
Let me guess. Something about the Grail.
Aye! That filthy scrap of parchment described exactly where the chalice of Christ was hidden.
Seriously?
Well, I mean, not actually exactly. It was more like a bunch of verses, but it's a great clue.
Really? Do tell.
You think I'd let you in on it?
I can keep you safe. You'll need protection when you find the Grail.
When I get my hands on the Grail, it will protect me. Don't you worry, my friend.
Maybe I can help you. Bones, holy relics, buried chests. Wouldn't be the first time I ferreted something out.
You've found stuff like this before?
I sure have. I've got a knack for it. It's pretty much what I do.
Sacra. Maybe I really am missing something. Fine. The monk gives me this parchment and it says, "From two magical mountains, gazing to the heavens. Like a thirsty pilgrim I tread the trail. Across the verdant valley to Land's End. There shall I drink from the spring that will not suffer my breath to fail."
Let me see that parchment.
Here. Can you make anything out of it?
It looks like it's been torn out of a book.
I hadn't thought of that.
Part of the rhyme might be missing. Or maybe there's a map to go with it.
Of course! A map! Why didn't I think of that?
Are you all right?
I might know who has the map. 1,000 thanks, Henry. You can keep that parchment. You've been a big help.
Well, good luck then.
See you soon, my friend.
Fresh soil. Someone was digging here recently. It doesn't look like an apparition, Gerda. He didn't take either the coin or the books. So it wasn't a thief. It must be something else he was after. God, where is that dog? Matt! Oh, he's run off again, the little beast. hear you saw some diabolical apparition. Is that true?
Was it the bailiff who sent you? Or old Croper?
No. I want to go to Apollonia to see Ambrose, the hermit. I've heard talk he's somehow linked to that apparition. So I need to know what you saw that night.
Why do you want to know? Forget that shit, pal. It reeks of fire and brimstone.
Want a swig of schnapps? Or two, maybe?
If it's any good, I won't say no. Show it here.
It's just that I don't have anything on me.
Don't offer what you haven't got. I was looking forward to it.
How was it with the
Leave me be.
Want a swig of... It's...
Don't offer. Take care for now.
How was it with...
Leave me be.
Do you want to roast in hell and choke on sulfur?
But I didn't do anything.
You're not caring well for your immortal soul.
I don't know. One time I carried a lamb all the way to Uyezd for the parish priest. All right, it was the bailiff what asked me to do it, but the good father gave me communion for it. I'm not afraid for my soul, so there's no point trying to scare me with hell.
How was it with the diabolical apparition? I heard you saw something. I know how to deal with evil spirits. I know a spell. Want to learn it?
Of course.
Say after me. Vade retro satana.
Vade retro satana.
Vade retro satana. Remember that. You just have to say it, and you'll drive away the devil.
My God, what a spell. It's clear you know your stuff. What did you want to know?
What exactly did you see that night at the crossroads?
A diabolical apparition. A black rider on a black horse flew into Apollonia. His eyes glowed, and his horse was black as charcoal. He turned this way and that a couple of times at the crossroads, and then darted off into the rocks. To the hermit's place, I'm sure.
He turned this way and that? That's strange. Would the devil not know the way?
I'm telling the truth. Gerda from the apothecary saw him too.
But the hermit helps people, though, doesn't he?
Aye, he did. Only now they're saying he was at death's door and sold his soul to the devil. And that was the horseman.
Why? Why would the old man have sold his soul to the devil and then kept living as a pauper in his hut?
Who knows what's going on in them rocks? Some devilish trickery for sure. See you soon, my friend.
That herds boy really did see something. And the trail leads into the rocks. Here, Matt. Search. Someone must have walked this way badly injured.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Calm down. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Then tell me, what are you doing?
You must be Marika.
I? Did Odette send you? I was hoping he would not find me so quickly. Well, at least he sent you and not my prala. They would not even bother talking.
Your brothers? Why would they not bother talking?
They take after dead. At least Geza. He's hot-blooded.
The Voivode's worried about you. He sent me to find you.
Worried. Now he worry about me. You don't know anything, do you?
What should I know?
Yes, that sounds like Dad.
So tell me what happened.
I ran away. That happened. My father wanted revenge for the insult to his honor, so my prala went after poor Bohush.
Who insulted his honor?
The villagers. When me and Bohush start courting, Dad sent a messenger to village, saying there must be wedding or Bohush will pay.
The Voivode himself wanted you to get married?
That is what we do. When a chavo and a chai start something, the chavo, man, must marry the girl.
So you ran away from the wedding?
Well, Bohush would not be against it, but we were in the forest at the time. And his mother and village people laughed at the messenger, sent him back with insults and tortured. Voivode get mad and my prala too. They found poor Bohush to vent their anger. Then left him in the forest. Lucky I found him and took care of him. You probably know the rest.
What now? You can't hide here forever. Bohush doesn't look too good, either.
He would surely have relief for at least a while if he got something to ease the pain. Can you please go and see my mother at the camp? She might be able to help. She knows herbs.
I think I can help him myself.
You?
Don't worry. I've treated injuries like this before. I've been through a lot.
Well, all right then.
He mostly needs clean bandages and some ointment for the wounds, made from comfrey and marigold, or a decoction from marigold. That should bring down the fever and help with the healing. You can take this potion. It'll help him.
Oi, Devla, thank you. I will give it to him right now. But there is one more thing I would like to ask you. I need amulet from Dad. It is Chohahuno, magical. It protects anyone who wears it around neck. If Dad give it to me, I will come back. With Bohush.
Do you think he'll go for it? If you let your brothers do this to Bohush, why would he help him all of a sudden?
He'd do it for me. If you get the amulet for me, I will reward you. Do not worry, I did not go from home with nothing. But Dad must hand it over willingly, or it will lose its protective power. Best if he bring it to me himself.
Well, I can try, but no promises. It's all pretty tangled up now. I found this scarf in the camp. I think it's yours.
Aye, that's my favorite. Bohush gave it to me. Thank you.
How's Bohush doing?
It keeps changing. He is delirious for a while, then he is unconscious. I can only pray to the Blessed Virgin that he will recover.
How is life here?
I cannot complain, except about Bohush's health. We have food to eat, no rain here, and no one can find us. I just miss my family sometimes. But then I remember that I'm here because of them.
What about your family?
I love them and I hate them at the same time. This is all their fault. They talk of freedom, but if you want to go where you want, there will be trouble.
Can you tell me about the nomads?
About how they made a pact with the devil? About how they steal and have no taste for work?
No, I didn't mean...
I know, you fool!
You call this freedom?
Going anywhere you want. I can talk, you only... Do not worry, you will be fine again. You cannot leave me alone in this.
Horse? What's it doing here in the woods? I should take a closer look.
beautiful horse. Black as charcoal. The herds boy wasn't lying. And you don't smell of brimstone. You're just an ordinary horse. Someone really did come to see the hermit. But it wasn't the devil. Heel!
You silly doggy.
You've no business here, fella.
God be with you, hermit.
I don't have time for you. Go away.
Folk in the village are saying you've made a miraculous recovery. And since then, you won't let anyone near you. What happened?
Nothing happened. I just can't stand all these people coming here and disturbing me. Can't I have a moment's peace?
Judging by what I've heard about you, you're a bit fishy, hermit.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of talk about you in the village. They say you've made a pact with the devil, and are summoning demons from hell.
Old wives' tales. What do I care about such nonsense?
Well, but supposing it isn't nonsense?
Of course it is.
The apparition was seen by the conciliatory cross at night.
Old wives' tales.
I went to take a look, and it really is askew. But it wasn't magic that Hellspawn was wielding. It was a shovel. There was a hiding place beneath the cross. And the man digging there at night didn't have time to put the cross back in the right position.
By all the saints! So someone was digging there. What has that to do with me?
There was a brand new cloak of the Knights of the Cross in the hiding place. It's clear that the man doing the digging hid it there, maybe to cover up who he really is. And what he's planning.
I still don't know what you want from me. What have I got to do with some cloak?
I found some pretty interesting documents of the Order.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I reckon you do, Ambrose. According to one of the documents, you were appointed Seneschal of the Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Or are you going to tell me it was some other Ambrose?
I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know anything about any documents.
A few nights ago, a herdsboy saw a black horseman ride into Apollonia. He thought it was an apparition. But I think a demon would have known the road to Apollonia and wouldn't have spun round and round at the crossroads like a top.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I found a black horse stabled in a pen here, in the woods below the rocks. A well-fed, healthy horse, black as charcoal. The man who rode on it wasn't an apparition, or the devil.
Why are you telling me all this? For God's sake! Stop this nonsense right now.
That's enough. I think there are enough fishy things going on around you for me to tell the bailiff, but you're in luck. All I'm after is that broken sword. So, come clean.
You're wide of the mark. But in the end, maybe you could help me.
What do you want help with, Ambrose?
I'm not Ambrose. He died some time ago. I am Conrad, Knight of the Cross with the Red Star.
Ambrose is dead, you say? How did it happen?
He was an old man. Unfortunately, he was already at death's door when I found him.
And you had nothing to do with his death?
Of course not. Ambrose was my friend. I'd known him for 20 years. He was a good member of the Order, and an outstanding teacher.
Ambrose was a member of your order?
More than a member. He was the Seneschal, second in rank only to the Grand Master. He served the Order for many years before getting into a dispute with the Prague chapter and the Inquisition. Then he had to disappear. I was the only one to know where to look for him. But I came too late. All he managed to tell me was his last wish.
What was his last wish?
He wanted me to find a hiding place beneath the conciliatory cross where he'd hidden his past. He sensed that death was coming for him. He wanted me to help settle his affairs. And he also longed to hold his old sword in his hands one last time. I went to his hiding place that very night. But by the time I got back, Ambrose was dead. I put the blade on his grave in place of a cross.
So the sword is on Ambrose's grave. Will you tell me where I can find it?
You want to disturb his rest?
I just want the sword, that's all. It's no use to him now.
All right. I'll tell you where his grave is if you fulfill Ambrose's last wish instead of me. I can't do it.
All right. What am I supposed to do?
Listen carefully, then. There's an old widow called Margaret living in the village. Take this cross to her and say to her exactly these words. Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
That's right.
I hope she'll know what this is about.
Don't worry, she will. Give her the cross, and I'll tell you where you can find the sword. Benedictio Domini sit tecum. You're careful! You're back again? Have you forgotten we had an agreement? Honor your promise, and I'll give you that sword.
Good morning.
This might seem strange, but I'm supposed to give you this.
A cross? Mother of God, what's the meaning of this?
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what he deserves.
Ambrose? The hermit?
It was his wish that I give you the cross and the message. He said you'd know what it's about.
Oh my God! By all that's holy, it couldn't possibly be him. All those years, I'd lost hope. I never forgave myself. I committed a mortal sin.
Well, I don't know what you did. But this is supposed to be your absolution.
No, there's no absolution. Not yet. You said it yourself. Not until Ambrose's brother gets what he deserves. The bones. They still lie there outside the wall. Help me. His soul must find peace.
All right. I'll help you. But you'll have to tell me more.
Thank you, lad. Thank you. I'll tell you everything. It's a curse. I've never told anyone about it. And it's a good thing you caught me here. At the graveyard.
What does the graveyard have to do with absolution?
Hold on. Not so fast. I'll tell you everything. First, tell me... Are you afraid of the dead?
It's the living I'm more afraid of than the dead.
One should fear the dead. But in the end, it's probably a good thing that you have no fear. You see, one poor soul is waiting for redemption. For years and years.
Ah, I get it now.
Ambrose's brother has to get what he deserves. This is about the soul of Ambrose's brother.
His name was Yun. He lies outside the graveyard wall, buried without rites. He's been there for 30 years.
Why doesn't he have a proper grave?
Because suicides can't enter the kingdom of heaven. They have to be buried outside the walls, like the unclean. The worst thing about it is that Yun didn't kill himself. He didn't deserve such a dishonorable burial, and it's my fault. I said nothing.
What happened to him?
The memories are painful. We were childhood friends, and Yun loved me. Only, I chose his friend Vashek over him. He couldn't get over the rejection, so he lay in wait for Vashek one evening.
And Vashek killed him?
It was an accident. They quarrelled. Yun drew his sword first, and Vashek had to defend himself. Apparently, they got close to the cliff edge while they were fighting, and Yun fell. When they found his body at the bottom of the cliff, people thought he'd killed himself. The only one who didn't believe it was Yun's brother.
Did you see it? Were you there?
No, but I believed my Vashek. He would never have lied to me. It pained him till the day he died, and he lived in fear of Yun's brother creeping up behind him one day and taking his revenge. In the end, that fear ate him up from inside.
Ah, the conciliatory cross where they saw the apparition. That's to commemorate Yun.
His brother Ambrose had it built there. And those diabolical apparitions. It's my fault for saying nothing. God is punishing me for my sins.
Nonsense. God wouldn't use a diabolical apparition to scare you, would he? And what's more, Ambrose forgave you, didn't he?
Only on the condition that Yun's bones will be laid to rest in consecrated ground. Help me lay him to rest in a proper grave, please.
But without telling the priest and gravedigger. Isn't that sacrilege?
That's the only way we can put right a terrible mistake. Yun didn't kill himself.
All right. We'll give him a proper burial. Yun's soul has the right to eternal rest.
Thank you. The Lord will pay you back 100-fold. There's a rose bush outside the graveyard wall. You'll find his bones beneath it. Please bury him beside my Vashek. Here, beneath the pine tree. In that way they'll be reconciled at least in death. Then place Ambrose's cross on his grave to bless their reconciliation. Well,
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Good doggy, good boy.
I'm feeling a... bit peckish.
Quick! Go! Quick! Quick!
I'm feeling a bit peckish. Whoa. Your journey ends here, Jan. I don't know what you have on your conscience. But rest in peace. I don't know much about prayer in these situations, but... Our Father, there are many sinners in this world, but in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do. So forgive me this little sacrilege. You know better than anyone that it was the right thing to do. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven, and deliver us from evil. Amen.
The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, and she conceived of the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary. And Mary said, Behold.
Ambrose's brother Jan got what he deserved, just as the hermit wanted.
I saw that. May his soul find peace at last.
And yours too, Margaret.
30 years. I thought about it every day.
It's all right now. You did the right thing. Everything else is beyond the law of man.
I'd like to reward you somehow.
I expect you wouldn't want anyone to hear about all this, right?
Well, if you... Will you keep it to yourself?
All right. I'll accept the coin, and that'll be the end of it.
Thank you again for your help. God be with you, Henry. Take care, my friend.
Hey, fella! Listen, we need help!
Jesus Christ!
Who are you? And who do you serve?
We are Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Good brothers in Christ. I'll explain everything, but there's no time now. We have to act fast.
What happened?
If you're going to see the hermit, be warned. The man in the hut is just pretending to be the hermit. His name is Conrad. and he's a fraud and a murderer. The Inquisition paid him to murder our Grandmaster Zdeněk in Prague. Fortunately, God did not let him carry out the crime. But 2 of our brothers were killed by Conrad when they tried to detain him.
And I see a third one will soon join them.
He was just about to flee from here as well. We took him by surprise, but he had time to grab that damned crossbow and shoot Klesgin. By the Virgin Mary, help us. We have to catch him.
You're a knight of an order?
Yes. I am Brother Arnold, a knight of the cross with the red star. And these are brothers Sibald and Nicholas. You are too late to make the acquaintance of Brother... We take care of the sick in infirmaries throughout the land. But we can't help our brother. You have to help us, while there's still time.
Why should I get mixed up in it?
I'll pay you. We just need to distract Conrad's attention. That's all. Otherwise, we won't have a chance against his crossbow in that gorge.
That swine tried to deceive me. He mustn't get away.
God, thank you. Try to get close unseen and set fire to the haystack on the right-hand side of the yard. Then his crossbow will be useless. But do it quickly, before he gets away.
Hey! Stop right there! Halt, or I'll shoot.
Wait, Conrad! It's me, Henry!
Don't move a muscle, I mean it!
I don't know what's going on here. I just want to talk with you in peace.
I understand, but there's no time for talk now.
I just want the sword. That's all I care about.
I don't want to kill you. Go away.
I can help you. Let's talk.
All right. But make it quick. And no sudden movements. Agnosco fortunam Cartaginus.
What do you want? You want it to run off and break our agreement.
And what is it you want to hear from me?
Where can I find Ambrose's broken sword?
It's not far. At the edge of the meadow up there are 2 entangled birch trees. There's a grave beneath them, and the sword is on the grave.
That's all I need to know.
There's no time to go into it. Sorry, young man. You got mixed up in a game of high stakes, and there's no way back.
That's the only thing you're right about, you lying bastard.
I guessed you'd show your true colors. As you wish, fool. Bella res est mori. In lecto suo.
I'll get you.
I'll shoot you an extra arsehole! Fucking
I'll
coward!
be done with you in a flash.
I can't get a shot in.
Sit! Don't spare him! You cut him out sweetly! Slice him up!
Come on, then.
Damn you, you swine!
Fuck you!
Slice him up to him, blood, you
That's a lot of blood. This should stop it.
What about... You owe me something.
You're right. We wouldn't have stood it.
What did Conrad...
The local hermit, Ambrose, was his long-standing ally. He was seneschal without order some years ago, but he transgressed and fled from Prague. But why Conrad? Maybe he thought it would...
I have some...
My God. It's a good thing. I'm afraid there's...
What was that?
I shouldn't... Conrad, he failed.
Conrad?
Yes.
That is high politics.
Sinners. They only care about money. We knights...
Our accounts are...
Gloria Pat...
I need something to eat. Where's the hermit's grave? It ought to be somewhere around here. There's nothing more here. Sorry, Ambrose. Rest in peace. Now that's what I call steel. It may be broken, but there's hardly a trace of rust.
Quick!
Good boy.
I really need to eat something.
Good day to you.
I know now how it is with the apparition you saw by the cross.
Really? So tell me, who did I see at the cross? It still keeps me up at night.
It was Conrad, an old friend of the hermit Ambrose, and a knight of the cross with the red star. Ambrose sent him to dig up his secret hiding place, and you surprised him there.
I surprised him. I'm the one who almost dropped dead. Have you got any proof? So I know you haven't just made it all up.
There's no devil here, and never was. This was nothing more than a dispute between their order and the Bishop's Inquisition.
Thank God that's all there is to it. And may the old hermit's soul rest in peace. And thank you, too. If you need anything from the apothecary, I'll put in a word with my husband. He's very good. And take this book. It might come in useful for you. Or you can sell it. Take care now.
How can I help you today, friend?
So I'm back, Master Blacksmith.
Excellent. How did it go with the hermit?
He's dead.
What? Did you?
No, not me. It just got a bit complicated. Anyway, it turns out old Ambrose really used to be a knight. And this really is Toledo steel. You were right, Blacksmith.
God's nails. That's quite something.
First class welded steel. Ambrose must have broken the sword himself, deliberately. It wouldn't have just happened in battle.
That's exactly what we need. See now, youngster. My clever plan worked out nicely in the end.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your, clever plan.
You haven't disappointed me yet, lad. So I'm sure forging an exceptional sword won't be a problem for you either.
Wait, I thought you wanted to do it yourself. I'm just your assistant, after all.
Not at all. I trust you. One day you'll become a master. That is, unless you lose your head first. Shavings.
Burning. Sakra.
Christ, what a day.
I have to hammer it more evenly. I've been banging this spot for a long time. bit more and I'll fuck it up. This is useless. I should move it. I've been banging this spot for a long time. to be careful not to ruin it. Kurva. Burning it. I better fuck it all up. Fine. Now to temper it. I won't get too far without fire. This is useless. It's cold. halfway there. I've been banging this spot for a long time. I can't keep hitting the same place. Oh, this is useless. It's cold. Good. This won't take long now.
Christ almighty.
I'll never finish it like this. I should move it.
What would you like?
I've got something for you, blacksmith.
God's nails, you weren't bullshitting.
I'd say it looks pretty much like a sword, eh?
Looks like. This is a damned fine piece of steel. Damned fine.
Thanks. I was glad to help, but now there's something I need from you.
I'll pay you, of course. And if you want to do some smithing, I won't throw you out of my forge either.
No, you know full well what I need. I have to get to Samin's wedding.
Why is it so important for you? It'll just be a lot of people stuffing their faces. You can find that anywhere.
I have my reasons, and you don't need to know them.
God's nails, lad. You're full of mysteries. But whatever, that's your business. I don't mind taking you to the wedding. Nothing to it. We can set off once you're ready.
What do you have for sale? Word about the price.
Well, I suppose we can...
I even had to sell the ring for my mother-in-law. But I'm telling
What would you say?
More.
you, runs up.
Thank you, and a good day to you, friend.
They'll ask him to talk to him.
God be with you.
You having problems with the Zheliovites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Zheliovites right away.
Well, if you've got it all figured out, why don't you do it yourself?
Right. And who's going to run the inn in the meantime, eh? Besides, everyone in Zheliov knows us. If someone from here shows up there, they'll get suspicious.
I don't care.
If you don't want to make some groschen, suit you. But if you change your mind, you know where to...
What do you have for...
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
What'll it be, you bum?
I'll have a look at your wares.
Nothing suits your fancy, eh?